Hey, Warren Ross, your favorite estate planning attorney again. And today I'm going to talk about why we use inheritance trusts. So a lot of times we use an inheritance trust as a secondary trust to your living trust. So your assets are in your living trust. While you're alive, you can do whatever you want with them. And then when you pass away, they go to a trust that we have specifically set up for your child, children, family member, whoever it may be. The reason we use those is because we can protect the assets that you leave to that person. A lot of times we do it if you think that that person might get a divorce at some point, because we can basically divorce proof anything that you put in that trust. And it doesn't actually say that on there, so if somebody reads it, they're not going to know that's why you had it set up. You can also make sure that if somebody passes away, those assets stay in your family or go to a charity, wherever you want them to go. It's not up to the person you left the money to. You still have control over it after you pass away. The third reason, one of the main reasons we use those, is because you can control how much they get and when they get it. So these are especially important if you have a family member who is not that great with money for whatever reason. I have a lot of clients who have children with drug or alcohol issues, maybe some gambling problems, and that comes up quite often. I have a client who also happens to be a lawyer. She's in her 60s, and she has a daughter who is about my age, who is back and forth in rehab for an opioid addiction. So she thinks that her daughter might be okay in the future, but she has no idea right now. So what we're doing is we're putting together a trust where we have someone else in charge of the money for her. So someone else is investing it, deciding where it goes, and they can decide what's appropriate for her to have. So we haven't set up specific distributions in there, because a lot of times when you have someone with a dependency, if they know money is coming in, they're counting on using that for alcohol or drugs or whatever it may be. So we're leaving this completely up to this trustee. So the trustee has total discretion over what that money is used for. And so if he thinks she's doing well, if she's getting better, if she's building her life back, then he can give her more and more as things go on. But if she slips back into dependency, goes back into rehab, then he doesn't have to hand her money for any of these things. So it's a great way to make sure that if someone is dependent on drugs or alcohol, or they have some other spending issues, you can protect those assets even after you're gone. And it's a great way to make sure that someone is taken care of, but you know they're not just blowing through everything in a few days.